And I think this season will be, the answer to that amazing question, which is, what would have happened if Mary had lived?
We're all super excited, number one, that you're here is a big surprise, but also Mary is back.
Mary's
and this
alive.
is going to be awesome. What can you share that you know?
I know that Mary is alive. In fact, not a ghost, not a vision, not a hallucination,
Okay.
not pretending to be Eve. And Mary will be hunting and fighting alongside her boys. I think primarily as she finds her footing in her new reality as a living person, younger than her sons, and having missed their entire upbringing. So there's a lot to digest as she becomes aware of the world as it is today.
You must be so excited to see where this Mary Winchester storyline is going to go.
I am.
Talk about a shakeup in the best way. What are you excited about with that?
I mean, Sam's got a tall order, and she's. I'm sure she'll knock it out of the park. But the fact that Mary's now coming back, she has to not only get used to a world that is completely foreign to her because it's 30 some odd years in the future.
Right. iPhone.
Internet.
Yeah.
There wasn't even internet.
Yeah.
So the fact that she's now going to have to kind of adapt to this new world, but also the fact that learning that her now grown sons are and have been living a life as hunters when that was one of the things that she tried so desperately to get away from and to get her family away from when she was alive. Now knowing that that didn't work and that now it's a family of hunters, I think that's gonna be hard for her to handle and to deal with. And at the same time, adding Mom also, I think, in my opinion, will make the boys vulnerable.
With the Mary Winchester storyline, I think it's really opening up just everything on the show, and I'm so excited about it. What are you looking forward to with that specific storyline?
I mean, I have read a couple of the scripts and it's amazing. I love what they've given Sam to do. She's such a great woman. It's so brilliant for her that she's getting to do what she does. That she'll soon see. I'm really excited for that, and I'm excited to see where it takes Rowena. With the whole family thing, to see how she develops, to see what other bits of her that we haven't found out yet, see what we find out, see what I find out, because I don't know yet.
I don't know. I think that we just have a very lucky brew of all of the right ingredients that have come together to make this fandom what it is. We, as a cast, have embraced the fans, and the fans have embraced us, and we've all also kind of grown up together. We've been on the air for so long that we have physically changed. We've grown older. We've gotten to know the fans and watched them grow up. We have watched. We go to fan conventions and we get to meet the fans. And I at our last convention a couple weeks ago, I was talking to a fan who is just graduating from college, who was not even in high school when I first met her. She was like an 11-year-old kid, and now she's a grown-up going out into the world. And I've known her that whole time, and that's a really remarkable thing and a completely unusual thing for a TV show, and especially for a sci-fi show. We're now the longest-running sci-fi show in the history of American television.
That's amazing.
And we're loving it.
Mary is back. I'm so excited about this. What can you, A, share that you know about the storyline, or B, what are you excited about as someone who's clearly invested in the show and excited about what's happening?
Interesting question. A, I'm not going to answer. B, what am I excited about? Excited about a lot of things. I think, we're doing a 12th season, which makes us the longest running genre show in American history, I think.
True.
Between that and Who, I was on Doctor Who as well. It's probably the two longest running genre shows of all time. It's quite an amazing thing. We're still interested in the Winchester brothers, and whether we have a season of a big bad, or we have a season that's thematic, or a season with monsters of the week, or it makes no difference. It's the Winchester brothers. Are we interested in the Winchester brothers? And I think this season will be, the answer to that amazing question, which is, what would have happened if Mary had lived?
She's never seen her boys as men. It's been 30 years. That's a big deal, and I think it really opens things up for the storyline.
I'm excited. We get to see Sam and Dean being heroes and being rough and tough. Other than this
Other than this guy.
this.
Hey,
the
what's up?
chin and the hair and everything. We get to see him kicking ass. We're both big guys and we do fighting and we're killing things and
Yeah, you're kind of tall. I have on
kinda
heels
tall.
right now.
Yeah,
I got to point
yeah,
that out.
Yeah, and I'm not. I didn't wear my heels for that. But I'm excited to see such a strong character in Sam be a son and be in a situation where, because even when he was John Winchester's son, he still had a contentious relationship where he was more like, you know,
Aggressive.
it was aggressive. He was like, why did you make me do this? You know, I didn't want to get into this life. So seeing Sam as a son to his mother, he's obviously going to view her differently, treat her differently. He doesn't know her, but he loves her, so it's going to be interesting.
I'm so excited about the return of Mary Winchester. Mom is back, and it's crazy to think that she hasn't seen her boys since they were, as men, she's never seen them. How is that going to shake things up? Like, what can we expect to see? Because I know the trailer you showed in the panel was very, like, heartbreaking, poignant, and beautiful.
Right. And I think for her, that's kind of, certainly when she's coming right out of the gate, she's coming back into this world, she's thrown into it, Sam's in trouble, gotta go save Sam. That really gives her a real driving focus for the first, few episodes. And I think, so for her, it's dealing with all that stuff. And, she's back in the world. The world's changed a lot in 30 years. Her boys have changed a lot in 30 years. They're not the people she remembers. She herself, I think, always had kind of a conflicted view. She was a hunter. She grew up as a hunter. She gave it up to be a mother. But I'm not sure she ever totally gave it up, if that makes sense. And we'll do some stories there. So we think it's throwing a really cool curveball. I mean, we're never taking the focus off Sam and Dean. That's always the most important thing for us. But for them to react off her is really cool.
Now you have this Mary Winchester return, which everyone is so excited about. What can you share?
Well, I can share that we're thrilled to have Samantha back.
Yep.
That's great. When we came up with this idea, immediately we started kicking around thoughts of, well, what would that be like? She hasn't seen these kids in over 30 years. Sam was a baby. She had no relationship really with, she's been in heaven where her best memories are Sam is a baby and Dean is a little kid. There's a big gap there. Emotionally, what does that do to the guys? What does it do to her? She's a fish out of water. There was no internet when she passed away. Cell phones were probably that big. Her modus operandi as a hunter is totally different than theirs. She never wanted this for them. She's probably disappointed that this is what their life has become. If she could find John and slap him silly, she probably would. So it's an interesting dynamic, and that's something that we're, as soon as this idea came up of bringing Mary back, we all really sparked to it, and I think it's going to be good storytelling.
Don't go just yet, you guys. Click to the left for the entire Comic-Con panel of The Vampire Diaries, or click right for our emotional interview with Candace King.